Yo, what's up?
Howdy.
Welcome.
Off here.
Welcome to the PP1 podcast. We are live. We're live streaming on the internet. What's up, everybody? It's Ryan. It's Ted. It's Wednesday. It's the Maio de Cinco, the Cinco de Maio. How you doing, my friend?
I'm good. This was it was a long day, so I'm glad to be doing this, talking about stuff that is less important than regular stuff. You know, get your mind off at the end of the day. Kind of look forward to these podcasts. Just jump in and chat it up.
Absolutely. I think I miss this. It's been an awful week for the Canucks, to be expected. But at the same time, you know, you look forward, like, what are we going to talk about? What haven't we talked about in a week? And I feel like we talked about so much last week. I was just editing some clips from last week, you know, when we talked about the phantom wipe and we talked about Arash, like, being a great negotiator and stuff like that. It was a lot of fun. But this week we've got a slew of things to talk about. We have a very special guest that we just decided was coming on about 5 minutes ago in relation to the Canucks news about their farm team. Hopefully coming to the great province of British Columbia and the township of Abbotsford. So we'll get into that. We're going to be talking about the brouhaha, the NHL code, and all that crap. But first and foremost, we'd like to welcome you to the PP1 podcast. We are on the Dean Blundell Network. We are partnered with the little guy in the corner. See that? Summer Skates. We thank Summer Skates for being a partner with us and offering up a really, really cool promo. If you happen to win 3-for-1 Summer Skates, you buy one, you get 2 free and a cozy. Make sure you check out our tweet. Ted, did you put that on our Twitter or yours or what? Where did it go?
I didn't tweet it.
Instagram?
I put it on Instagram, yeah.
Excellent. So first and foremost, you got some noise there. On your side. You're moving around. It's all right.
I'm working on it. Sorry.
Okay. That's all good. So anyway, go check that out. You have an awesome chance to win. You're going to want to be a part of this. It feels like we're part of like a organic area. There we go. You're set up. You're good. You're rocking and rolling. Beauty. So Summer Skates. Don't forget those guys. We gave away our last pair of, oh man, I'm getting roasted by our guests already. We gave away our last pair of headphones last time, but that's okay. We may have some other stuff to give away. Like, I don't know how we became the podcast of choice to give away stuff, but I like being that. And I don't think we're giving away anything else right now. Not that I know of. Our slides haven't arrived yet. They're coming.
We're out of the headphones, so that's done.
We're out of the headphones. Yeah, we're out of that. So it is what it is. But I don't know what's been going on with you, man. I saw you had a neat little post on Sunday that I would have liked to reciprocate, but
which one was that?
You kind of went to some place called the doctors. Got a little bit of.
Oh, yeah, I got snipped. No, just kidding.
Whoa.
Yeah, I've got the first round of the COVID vax, so that was fun.
Ted has a clean shirt.
You got a clean shirt, yeah. Yeah, awesome. hit the lineup. They were giving away like 300 vaccinations or something like that. Like they were doing like a pop-up clinic or something.
Okay.
So yeah, so Christy and I went down there. You know, took us like 5 minutes to find the end of the lineup. We got in there and it was like there was 4 people jumping in line, and she was like, this woman was like, "How many vaccinations are left?" She's like, "Oh, I have 3 left." And she's like, "Oh, well, I need one for my husband, so I'll go run and get him." And like she left and then she never came back. And so it was like me and Christy and the other rando that showed up there, and we made it. So it was like 97, 98, 99.
Boom.
Then the 200s was ours. So we made it and it was good.
That sucks. We actually drove through at like 8:30. Wife told me, let's go. And so we arrived 8:30, line up around the block. I looked, there's no way we're getting.
No.
And
you should have just got in line, man.
We should have. We ended up building the gazebo, got a sunburn and a couple of mosquito bites. That was a lot of fun.
Well, that's just as good then.
No, but anyway, I got a place to call my own now. So I got a text from Save On, so we're trying to set up our next appointment unless whatever. So I don't really know.
I thought you just got like a random text from Save On, and I was like, oh, cool.
Like, hey, are you still shopping with us? Are you shopping with us still? No. So anyway, we're going to talk about some Canucks. We're going to talk about the elephant in the room, JT Miller. We got some dudes and guys. And Connor McDavid absolutely decimating the Canucks. Rathbone and Lind.
Connor McDavid's good at hockey.
He is really good at hockey. I predicted he was going to get 8 points, and he's got 6 of those 8 against the Canucks. I said he'd get 8 against Vancouver this week. So you wait, Vancouver. 2 more points are coming. So, that's how we roll. So we should probably get into the obvious stuff. We made it into the voting round of Best of Kelowna. You guys need to vote for us. We want to win this so bad. I think we came in like 4th last year.
I think we were like 4 out of 5 or something like
4
that.
out of 5.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty. That being said, we want to win because if we do win, we're going to give away stuff. I'm already putting some money aside. For sure, we're going to be giving away a pair of the PP1 summer skates. That's a given. Might even do up some shirts.
Clean ones?
A clean one. I might just go grab something from my closet, possibly. And maybe like a hat, like a full like summer kit. I feel like we should do.
Yeah, it sounds like a great idea.
Like if we win, we need to embrace our followers, embrace our community. Do out of town vote. Average Joe. I like this guy. Yes, Average Joe. Every vote counts. I voted for friends of other things yesterday. It takes a while. If you just want to vote for us, that's great. We appreciate it. So go on there. We posted the link on our Twitter, and I think, did we do it on our IG and everything as well?
I don't know if we've done IG yet.
That was your job, man. You have one job to do. What have you been doing this last week?
It was a busy. I was getting a COVID vaccine.
Okay, you're gonna bank on that. You're gonna milk that for the.
I'm gonna milk it for as long as I can. Yeah,
that's fair. So anyway, please make sure to vote because we'd appreciate it. Brock Besser, he's still scoring. The team's losing. Should we call it a day?
I don't know, but it would be nice to have just everybody going at once, right? I mean, when PD was going, it was like Brock was still up a little bit lame, had the wrist. It was like we weren't seeing that like devastating wrist shot.
Right.
And then it's like Hughes shows up and we have PD and Hughes and those guys are firing, but Brock's still not there yet. All of a sudden, the start of the season gets going. It seems like Brock has seen it. He's found it back. And around the time that he really catches fire, which I feel like has been the last, I'd say like probably 3 or 4 weeks worth of hockey, not just 3 or 4 weeks worth of like time in this year.
Yeah.
He's really started to just like take this team over, I feel like. And Hughes and PD are nowhere to be seen for obvious reasons. And I shouldn't say nowhere for Hughes. I mean, he's been playing well, but he hasn't been playing to that level that we were kind of hoping we were at with him earlier in the season. So I would love to see, all 3 of these guys get going all at once. And we probably aren't going to see that until next year. So in the meantime, I'm fine with the rest of the games just playing themselves out like they should. I don't think that it's just done. I think we've talked about this before because I'd rather see a struggling Canucks team with guys like Lind and maybe a Gadjevich. I mean, we saw Rathbone the other night, all up here trying to ply their trade, learning on the job.
Yeah.
And you don't get that opportunity if you're in a situation that Vancouver was in last year, where they're sort of pushing for that playoff spot. Yeah. You're not going to see any of those guys come up. You can't trust guys like that. You can't put faith in them like that. But right now it's okay to make mistakes. And we kind of want to see that from guys like Lind and guys like Rathbone. And I hope that Gadjevich is the next guy to get in.
You know who we don't want to see mistakes coming from? JT Miller.
Yeah, typically your veterans, yeah.
Unreal. Like the guy has been an absolute war horse for the Canucks since they've come back. Like he's been everything. The guy, I mean, dropping F-bombs left, right, and center.
Oh, he leads the league in F-bombs.
Yeah, he just smashing sticks, just absolutely destroying life. And then, totally gassed, tries to clear the puck up the boards. There's Connor McDavid. Find Leon Draisaitl. Bam, bam.
I mean, and that was unfortunate, but is that really going to make a difference?
No, it was just one of those ones, like, I think we all felt bad for him at that point. I just laughed. I'm like, of course. Because of all the people to be there, it was him.
Because that's what was going to happen, right?
Exactly.
But we're almost lucky that it wasn't a Lind or a Rathbone that did that, right?
Yeah.
Because at least it's just the veteran with like some cred and I've got a track record. Like, fuck off.
Totally.
I did it once. Like, I've done everything else. Can you get off my back, please?
Exactly.
And there's all sorts of people shitting on him on Twitter. It's nuts. I don't know.
What is wrong with you? It's JT Miller. Are you guys still butthurt about, the first round pick? The guy has been all world for you. They've come back from COVID. He's the only guy that is on a clip. I mean, aside from Besser, I guess. And you guys have the gall.
The audacity.
You have the gall, the audacity to crap on JT Miller. Shame on you. Shame on you. A plague on all of your houses.
Yeah. Shame on you, fair weather Canuck fans. Well, and I shouldn't say it was all fair weather. Like regular good folks were dumping on him too. It was like very surprising to me.
Yeah. I don't get it. Like it's JT Miller. Clearly we all have a bond with this man now. I don't get it. I don't.
What did you think of that line with Miller playing center, obviously, and he's been doing that now consistently. So Miller playing center and then Höglander and Besser on the other side.
Well, I like it. They haven't been too consistent with that though. I thought they started putting Miller on the wing now too, haven't they?
Yeah, but I mean, in that game, the plan was to play him center, I think, and then who knows.
I like it for what it is. I mean, you kind of have to put all your eggs in one basket right now because, like, this season should be done. In the NHL, I think they had Bill Daly saying that they will play all the games. You know, the remaining Calgary games, the remaining Edmonton games after this week are all TBD. No. We're going to play them all. Like, why? Why are we here? Why are we still here?
Yeah, you're right. Like, just looking at this lineup right now. So if we just take the forward group, we're looking at Pearson, Horvat, Lind. So we're looking at what, two bona fide NHLers in that spot?
Yeah.
And then Höglander, Miller, Besser. So we'll take 3 on that one. One of them is a rookie who has an awful lot of responsibility. Third one after that, we're looking at Highmore, Graovac, and Howrluck. Okay, like that is not exactly. That's like not even an AHL All-Star line.
Magna, Chaput, and
that might not be a first
Roy.
line AHL line.
It isn't because Cole Lynn's already up.
Yeah, Cole Lynn's playing 2 lines above that right now, and then finally it's VC, Boyd, and McEwen. So I think we're all in agreement that Jimmy VC is a bona fide NHLer, or at least he was up to this point. So. Maybe he's showing quickly that he's not. I don't know. McEwen is I don't think he's there yet to being like an 82 game player. He's still getting scratched sort of every once in a while. We still like his effort.
That's
a lot of things that he does. But you're sort of expected in that spot as like, you know, the extra forward and a 4th line player, right? And then Boyd. Again, so we're looking at like, you know, over half of this lineup, this forward group lineup is, you know, comprised of like NHL players sprinkled in, which is mostly being carried by a bunch of AHLers. And we're not talking about like high level AHLers at this point either. Like we're talking about some fringe guys.
Like when you say an AHLer, like in every sense of the word, like not an NHL player. You know, you say that like what we thought about an AHL player 10, 15 years ago, like, oh, why is he playing for us? And that's the actual thought. Why is he playing for us?
I mean, you're probably looking at like Howrluck and Graovac as your extra forwards when you start a season, right? Like one of them plays center, the other is kind of a good utility forward. Maybe you mix him in and out with a guy like McEwen, but now we're asking all of these guys to play sort of important minutes for this team right now. So it's kind of like when does it end? But I still would rather see, you know, some youth be served, I think, on these lines as we close out the season.
Like, what do they have to lose? We're at the point. Yeah. We said this before, but what do they have to lose? It's like they're done. And it's okay. We're okay with that. I don't know if you remember we were on the Leafs fan cast a couple weeks ago.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was a time.
Yeah. And that guy has some energy.
He does. So anyway, you may have seen our little conversation on Twitter a few days ago. I kind of called them out. I posted a tweet in the Canucks Army game day about how Leafs fans are totally just like angry that we're not angry. That basically it
was so strange. He was like,
it was. So Danny from the Leafs fan cast called me. He's like, hey, let's squash this and you know, we'll get you on the show again. And I think it was on Monday. So they had their show. I came on second intermission. And I just laughed. I'm like, why am I here? So they got into it, and like he's like, you're so disarming. I'm like, well, yeah, like we suck. The Canucks are not good. What else would you like me to tell you? Like there's no secrets. We know the team we have. Like we're fully aware of where this team has been all season. We're essentially aware of where this team was last season.
We are who we thought we were.
In every sense. And so what's his name? Can't remember the other guy on there. And I'm going to feel bad and he's going to call me out, but that's okay. Hey, Pete, welcome. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Anyway, he thought it was pretty funny because I'm pretty even keel, right? Like I'm very, when it comes to.
Are you even keel though?
You know what I mean? Like when it comes to the obvious things.
I don't know what you mean. Please explain.
So when it comes to some obvious things, like I'm fully aware of what this Canucks team is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say things that are ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I went on.
You're not going to be the forever optimist.
I occasionally am. I mean, I was on team playoffs for about 3 days, and then the obvious.
Like those 2 wins versus.
Like those 2 wins, I was like, you know what, screw it. Let's have playoffs. And then reality kicked in again, and I'm back to reality. You know what? I had a good week. It was fun.
Mom spaghetti,
exactly. My knees were weak. My palms are sweaty. And you know what? It's funny because, yes, the Leafs are doing great. Congratulations. You're beating everybody in a division you should be beating. We've never seen Ryan smash things.
I don't know where you're seeing these questions. Oh, I see.
So I've got like this cool little thing. I guess you don't have access to this, do you? I feel like I'm in such control. I love it. It's great. No, we'll smash some things. Maybe that's what we'll need to do. You know what I'm gonna smash though? Chris Phillips from the Ball Hawks podcast.
Oh, I cannot wait to see that happen.
I didn't plan on that segue, but let's talk about that for a second. So, Chris, I know you're not watching. Steve, your partner, is from your show. I think we're going to do it this weekend, Mother's Day, Sunday.
We'll see. We're going to have to work this out with the wives, I feel like, because I don't know if everyone's wife is going to be okay with us ditching to go run a middle-aged man track meet for bragging rights. I think that's
the best Mother's Day gift of all, watching all their husbands look absolutely pathetic.
Like, you know what I got for Mother's Day? I got Ryan pulling up with a hammy.
Everybody wants that. Come on.
Nobody wants that.
Come on. That's fun, right? That's a good time, I think. So anyway, my wife's fine and she's like, screw it. We don't do stuff for Mother's Day anyway. So we do like a morning thing. We all that, and we hang out. And
I'm disappointed in Christine. I think that she gave you bad advice in telling you that you don't need to practice for this.
No, I'm going to practice. I've been stretching.
And she is an athlete, so this surprises me.
We can talk about Ted. So Average Joe is trying to throw some shots. We can talk about Ted. If you've got something good enough, we're definitely going to put it up.
So it pops up after the fact. I just get it after. So
yeah, it's fine. Whatever. We'll figure this out. This is our first interactive live stream, so we're learning a few things. But anyway, I'm going to win this all. If anyone saw my promo video, I got a few great texts from some buddies of mine. They were really impressed. I think Rob Fay was impressed as well. I was happy to throw down and get involved in this promo war.
Can you play the audio of your? I think maybe if you can you play the audio of first yours?
Yeah.
And then maybe Rob's.
Well, okay. So there's a few things. I'm gonna find mine. Should we tell everybody who our guest is? That's gonna pop in shortly here.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna tell him to join. So by the time I find this video, you can join, my friend. You're watching. I know you are. So I'll let you in a second. Let's find that video. I thought it was a pretty good little throwdown there.
I thought it was great. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a very good chance that I'm gonna be absolutely torched on this.
Yeah, I think if you get torched, that's fine because I think you bodied Chris in the pump video.
It was oh man, I did a lot of stuff apparently. So sorry, folks. We'll find it. So our guest is we've had him on here before. He's a Leafs fan, former neighbor of mine, but he's got some stuff.
I'll find it for you, bud.
Brenton on tour. Brent Donnelly, my buddy, is going to be joining us. And I totally forgot that, Ted, you're going to find the video for me.
Yeah, keep going.
I totally forgot that he was the former events manager for the Abbotsford Center. So, folks, we're talking about the Canucks getting the farm team back home, which we've all waited for. And we're due. Brent, I'm sure, has a few things that he'd like to chat about, and probably the inner workings, like the guts, the bowels of Abbotsford Center. I don't know the jargon. Is that
I think
proper?
bowels. I think bowels is the right Yeah, I think you got it with vowels.
Okay. Back in my hood, Average Joe's former Abbotsford. I got my, just random, little margarita for Cinco de Mayo from El Taquero in Kelowna. Not a bad burrito, folks. I am beyond, like, I feel bloated, but I'm not bloated. It's good. It's delicious. I highly recommend. So, do you find that video or what?
I found yours, but I'm looking for Chris's first so people can hear it.
Okay. His was just awful. Don't you think? It was just bland. It just sounded like a guy that just like, I guess I should send something out. You know? Like he's a rookie at this.
Yeah, it was there. I mean, he tweeted. I mean, it's very possible that he could destroy you in the race and it won't matter, but I mean, we won't know that until you guys run the race, right?
That's true. All right, do you have it ready?
Here, I'll pass it to you. This is yours.
Where did you send it to me?
I just put it in the private chat link.
Oh, okay. This is so we're running with this. I think it's good. I don't see it anywhere, man. Oh, in our private chat. I think I know what I'm doing.
Just a random private chat.
Moron. Okay, let's
Get it figured out there?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I have Chris's for you when you're ready.
Can you hear it? Weird. Can you guys hear it?
And then Rob's is in there too. Can you not just share screen and then let it go?
I don't know.
Let me try. I can just hear your audio coming from the back of your computer.
This is weird. We're very sorry, folks.
Okay.
Oh, well.
Hang on.
You know what? Just send the link. I don't want to be boring people. They can just send the link out.
Hang on.
Like, I can hear me.
Okay, tell me if you can.
There you go. Okay. We're gonna cancel that. There's me pumping iron. I can't hear a thing though. We'll have to cancel it and remove it.
All right.
Sorry,
well,
folks.
Fun.
It was a lot of fun. That was short-lived. Sorry about that. So anyway, so Brent on Tour is going to be coming in. We're going to delete that on what'll be a polished podcast for you guys. That's hot. I got that shirt. I've had that shirt for so long. It has now become like my yard work shirt. I forgot I was wearing it the other day when I went to Save On, and yeah, it was a hot mess. Here's the man himself, Brenton on Tour. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good. I tried to get you guys a view. I got a little bit of, I'm out for a walk. I got a little bit of, I got some mountains in the background here. I'm trying to get a good, get a good view for you.
Where are you?
Beauty.
Where am I? I'm just around the corner from my place. There's a mountain, see, for our people out east that are jealous of us every day. So yeah.
No lockdown out there. I love it.
No, I'm walking around.
I think the best part about this video is that it's 9:09 here and it's not dark there. So
yeah, it's beautiful here.
That sucks. So you kind of reached out to me and I totally forgot, and I apologize. Our friendship, I'm failing on you. I'm sorry, but
no, you don't. No,
you're
not. You're quite involved in the coffee inside. That works.
That's
that
true.
works.
I'll make up for it in other areas. So yeah, before you went back out on the road, you've done some stuff. You went over to the Abbotsford Event Center, or whatever it was called, because I've been there never. And you were the events manager. Is that correct?
Yeah, I was the director of events there for a year, and it was a blast. Had a great time. There was a time when touring slowed down for a bit. Had an opportunity to. I actually went and I did Slayer and Kenny Rogers back to back, and then walked right into the director chair of events, and yeah, it was quite something.
I didn't think I'd ever hear those two names together in the same sentence, but you did it.
You win the award, and we don't have one, but that was pretty impressive. I don't know how you did that. Your name dropping. I don't even have those names on the tip of my tongue.
Slayer and Kenny Rogers? Yeah, I could spend hours on the Kenny Rogers thing, but anyways.
So when you were there, now were the Abbotsford Heat there at that time, or were they gone already?
No, it was after the Heat. There was no tenant actually in there at the time, so I would have been there in 2017. So I did all of 2017 there at the building. The Heat were gone for a few years at that point.
So were there like rumblings back in the day about, because I know we read about it all the time on posts and sites like Canucks Army about why isn't Utica hero ready? Like, why have the Canucks not invested in a farm team? Was it just timing all the way through, or is it just something that wasn't in the wasn't in the cards?
I think at the time the biggest thing was that the Canucks actually didn't want the competition in the market. So, you know, if you guys remember coming out of 2011, how hot it was, and even those 3 or 4 years when they rebuilt the team basically in 2011, it was so hot that I don't think the Canucks even, you know, wanted the competition in the area. And even though they're the farm team, they're still their competition. They needed that bridge and tunnel crowd to come out.
For sure.
So that was kind of a thing. Abbotsford Heat was a disaster. Obviously there was it was funded by the city. The city basically guaranteed them that they wouldn't lose money. So it was subsidized by the city, and the city lost millions of dollars. So there was no talk of that. It was, let's rebuild the concert business, which they did very well. Andrew Nash, the GM, that was there with Corey Margolis. Those guys rebuilt that thing up to, you know, a ton of shows a year. And yeah. So when I left, they were just talking about the basketball league that has since gone in there. And I know that they were poking around a bit, the Canucks and there was some rumblings and chats about what if, but all of it had to do with like Utica's, you know, lease running out too.
Which it finally has. And I guess there was a lot of stuff going on. It was Binghamton, right? That had the Devils. Was that right? I can't remember.
Albany, maybe?
Anyway, I guess that all fell apart. And then obviously as the lease comes up, it was like, it's finally that perfect storm where there was nothing in the way. There's no roadblocks or, oh, you know, they were dating. And so, you know, I really wanted to be with them. And now like it's perfect storm, right? And they finally get their shot. And I personally love it. Like, I think this is a phenomenal opportunity, not just because of the obvious, like they're close and you get to watch more Canucks hockey or the baby Canucks, but the fact that you can call guys up the day of a game like Toronto does, or Winnipeg. You can, you know, you basically you can have eyes and ears on your prospects right away. You don't have to go very far. You can watch, if there was a day game, you could watch the prospects that day and then watch the big game, you know, that night. Merchandising obviously is going to be an absolute just avalanche of opportunity. Ted, you and I, we both worked at Jersey City. We know all the possibilities on the retail game. And I think knowing the Canucks and knowing how they market their wares, I think this is going to be absolutely dynamite.
I mean, there's some concerns about what's going to happen with the Giants. I wouldn't be surprised if they end up back down at the P&E. You know, just to give another team down there, because people got to spend their money somewhere out here, and you know, it's not going to be cheap. It's not going to be cheap out there. It's not going to be cheap out there.
No, but they're separate markets. I think like I find, and this is weird, but it's true. The junior hockey base, the fan base, and people feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, is a very different fan base than the pro and the minor pro. There is a very different following, I find.
But how do we know if it's different than minor pro? Because minor pro is going to carry a ton of those junior age, like just over junior age players or players that have just graduated from junior hockey.
Yeah.
And I'm like, in your opinion, Brent, like what made the Abbotsford thing fail? Was it just that it wasn't managed properly, or was it the fact that they were literally the Flames, and who wants to see that if you're in the Lower Mainland? Like, what didn't work?
You're talking about the Abbotsford? Sorry, the connection is not the loveliest, but let me get through this. So you're talking about like why the Abbotsford Heat failed?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know about you guys, but you know, I'm from Toronto, and I'm not going to Oshawa to watch a Montreal Canadiens farm team. It's not happening. Exactly. So I don't know. I know they had to get a tenant in the building to get that thing going. And I understand what the city was trying to do to generate some, you know, because it works on concert business. It works on events. It works on everything. I think they thought it was going to go better. I think they thought it was going to be, I don't know. I don't know that it was ever really stood a chance, if I'm being honest with you, because I mean, it's just such a small market. I mean, you guys, Vancouver is a small market, regardless of what people think. It's not really that big of a market. And so to put your competition's farm team just down the street, like 35 minutes, and expect them to decide whether to spend money on that or the Vancouver Giants per se. I don't think there was a competition there. I think it served Abbotsford, but I don't know. I think you're going to see a lot more interest in this, and I think you're going to get a lot more play, to your point, Ryan.
Yeah, it's I mean, you can go back, I think, even to, you know, when the market was just scorching hot and people just wanted anything to do with the Canucks. And I think the time is just ripe. The farm team is actually starting to produce you know, some valuable prospects again. The Canucks are finally on the, you know, where we're actually starting to see those guys in the main lineup. I think there's a chance where they can kind of hit both of those in stride. And I don't see this as a loss whatsoever personally. I can't see that. I can't see this failing. If it does, you know, financially, that would probably be the only thing, if for whatever reason, backers or something like that. But I just, like, in BC, like, it is the Canucks. They are the main draw. Whether, you know, even when the Lions were hot and when the Whitecaps were going, as much as everybody wants to believe that there is a bigger draw, like, it is the Canucks, and they found a way to carry that product even further. And it's going to be a massive success. I can't wait. I can't wait till this all blows over and we can go to games.
I think it's right. I think you're right. I think it's going to do well, and they did a really good job with that building it because they've got a score clock in there, which is what part of it would, I think, that they won. I think the other buildings they were looking at didn't have the score clock, number one. And I know that sounds like a little thing, but it is an NHL clock. It's a professional clock. It's expensive. They spent a lot of money to make that in there. They got the best ice in probably Western Canada because it's all made from rainwater. It's a win all the way around for the players, for sure, and the city of Abbotsford. I don't know what the deal is that they struck with the city, you know, to manage it, and whether the city's going to have to offset any losses. I'm sure you're going to see a report about that, because that's going to be a lot of the questions coming up from the city. Like the people living in the city going, well, hey, we spent, you know, or whatever it was, millions of dollars to, you know, subsidize this Abbotsford heat. So how much money do we have to spend to subsidize this? And I have a feeling that they've definitely changed their probably deal on this one and learned from the first time. So
yeah, I think so. It's smart. Like I said, at the end of the day, I think money's going to be made for sure. Ted?
There's so few negatives by this point, right? I mean, everybody's wanted this to happen for so long. So the fact that it's finally, I mean, there's been so many weird things that have happened in the last 2 years, obviously. I don't have to say it, but there's been so many weird things that have happened in the last couple of years that people are all sort of just looking forward to this going on. And when the contract was coming to the end in Utica, everyone's first assumption was that it was going to happen in Abbotsford. So to see it actually take place, and this is how it's going to unfold, and this is how we're going to see it. Yeah, you're right. It's all going to come out in the wash, and I'd be curious to know what that is. But at the end of the day, I mean, I'm just excited for the fact that I can just go to a baby Nucks game. I think that's really cool. Like we've never had that. And the closest it came was being in Winnipeg, but it just wasn't the same.
You know, the other side too is that whole area, the Abbotsford Center, is developing like crazy. Like universities there, they've been building up townhomes and complex, like, you know, condos, you name it, are all going in that vicinity. It's one of the fastest growing spots in the Lower Mainland. So to have that team in the mix now, with everything that's going on, anyone that has any money to invest, I would say get on it, because that's going to be the space to be for at least the next 10 years of growth.
You know what I'm not impressed with? The one thing about Abbotsford last time I was there, the Wendy's out there, they didn't give out the proper amount of sauces for my chicken nuggets, and I was pretty choked about that.
I don't know. I always had a hard time with the smell, but that was me.
I don't need to state the obvious. I'm trying to get constructive here. Jeez. So, Brent, thank you very much for coming by. Very much appreciated. Brent on tour. He's got the Journey for Java podcast. Must listen for me. So it should be a must listen for you. I'm challenging you. Drink some instant. I don't want to drink instant coffee next week, but I got to drink instant coffee next week. If you guys haven't listened to his podcast,
what's the challenge here? Can you what is it?
I haven't listened to it yet, but fill us in.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. So he left. So he was challenged. He had, and I'm going to feel like an idiot for forgetting, his guest this week, who works for, I think, Billboard magazine. Or Billboard in general, challenged him and whoever else, I guess, to have nothing as your main drink if you're a coffee drinker nothing but instant coffee for the next week. So any coffee drink you have is instant coffee.
Can it be any kind of instant coffee? Can you have like those like fancier like Nescafe ones?
No,
or like
I
can
think
you do like the what is it, the Vero, like the Starbucks Vero or whatever? Can you do that? Because like I've had that. It's not bad. Like it's not bad.
That, you know what? And maybe it's a loophole. Maybe there's a loophole to this. So yes, it can be any. There you go. So in case you're wondering, yes, it can be any. Thank you so much. See, he's still listening. I love that guy. He's a good guy. Yeah. Okay. So I think like for the challenge to be authentic though, like it's gotta be.
It's a good shout out there by Average Joe, who noted that Brent just pulled a Travis Green and just pieced.
Just pieced out. Like no more questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just putting this up there. Summer Skates promo. You guys, you got to enter. We'll put it on Twitter before the end of the night. Make sure you're entering this. Like it's not a freebie. We're not giving away anything for free. Not yet. If you get in, you get 3 pairs. I
mean, it kind of is a freebie when like you're getting an extra pair of summer skates. I mean,
but you have to. If you win, you have to commit. That's the main thing. If you're really into this, you commit. But then you get 2 more pairs. I wear mine every day. They're so comfortable. Socks and sandals, no socks, all in. That's me. I love them. They're great. You guys have to check them out. They're NHLPA licensed, so you can have whoever the heck.
And they're actually just really practical. Like if
they are
completely honest, yeah.
Those black ones, those are coming out. I won the Summer Skates contest, and they're bomb. You want these? Are we gonna? I'm gonna post it because
there he is.
I can push buttons. Have you seen? So Steve, he got a bear. He's
friend of the pod. Been on here before.
He landed a bear. He got a ticket or a tag. Sorry. Now I don't know if his wife shot it. That would make more sense. She's probably the real.
She's the better hunter out of the 2.
Yeah. So
he knows that. He's not going to get mad.
There's something to be said for that. So, but yeah, he's right. They're comfortable, and I know it seems like we're shilling this, and maybe a little bit, but once you have like anything you own that's comfortable, you want to brag about it. Enough said. Player's choice, they're also in here. Are we going to get into dudes and guys right away?
If you want.
I don't have like a cool banner. We'll have to do this for next week. I'll have to make something really fancy. So let's get into dudes and guys, brought to you by Player's Choice Sports, cards and collectibles. I was watching their little auction before the show started. There's F1 cards now. Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
They're like $850 a box for F1 trading cards. There's a Lewis Hamilton card in there.
I was just going to say, just because you might get a Hamilton card, or you might get a Boltock card or something like that.
It's like a refractor or whatever. It's worth like $2,000. Like it's insanity.
I could handle that.
Yeah, but like you're dropping $850 for a box of F1 cards, and I was in the shop. Was it last week? And like I saw 3 boxes walk out the door. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's insane.
So anyway, if you guys are wondering where cards are at these days, invest. You might have enough money to put a down payment on a house. So dudes and guys, there's not a lot of dude going on in the last week, but regardless, Katie's on here. Yes, they are sweet cards. I agree. Thanks for joining us, Katie, from Player's Choice. See, we're so popular, all 7 of our viewers, that we appreciate it. You know what? There could be 0 and we'd do it the same way. Dudes and guys, I'm gonna get you can go guy first.
Guy first for me. I'm just not like super impressed with Highmore. Pretty minimal amount of shifts. Like he looks like he's skating hard out there, and I think that's really cool. Like eyeball test wise, he seems to be giving maximum effort, but I mean all that try has to result in something. And his Corsi 4 percentage was sitting around like 35%, only logging like 12 and a half minutes in the game. And if you're getting controlled that often when you're out there, I don't care if you're a 4th liner or not, no wonder you're only getting like 12 minutes. So, I mean, for a guy that we sort of people were billing to be a little bit like a mott, which he doesn't have the pedigree that Mott has either. So I'm going to find that it's difficult for him to meet up to those standards. Who Mott himself struggles in the Corsi department from time to time too. And I know people aren't all over this for fancy stats, and we're kind of reaching right now for guys at this point when our team's getting their asses kicked like that. But this was the guy that came back in the trade, and I wanted to see a little bit more from him. And anybody who's come back to this point, I haven't really seen. So just a guy for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. You can pretty much pick whoever you want. There's a couple guys that I was kind of looking at, and I wasn't sure who I wanted to go with because I don't know. Like, it's frustrating because you pick someone and you can make a ton of reasons. I'm gonna go as a combined. I'm taking these two guys because I think, regardless of what's been going on, I think the Canucks goaltending hasn't been stellar in the last week. It's, again, for what we're seeing, I'm aware of what has happened prior to this. I'm aware that the team has had COVID, both goaltenders, if I'm not mistaken. So yes, I'm aware of what's going on. But the play that I'm seeing on the ice compared to even some of the other guys like JT Miller or Bo Horvat or Brock Besser, I'm just not seeing it. It looks like there's some goals that are going in that probably shouldn't be. Yes, I'm aware Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews played consecutively. But I think what we saw in those first two Leafs games and what we've seen since then is a very different goaltending tandem. And am I confident in both of them still? Absolutely. I just think that, and maybe they're just worn out, and that it is what it is. And again, you can probably pick a guy for anybody right now, and like Quinn Hughes would have been another choice. But I've got to pick somebody, so I am picking both goaltenders because I don't see it for what I'm expecting to see. Even right now, it's not looking normal, if that makes any sense.
Well, we talked about this, right? I mean, I think we came and it was like a 2-1 game or something like that, and I called my guy as Thatcher Demko.
Right.
I mean, because he only stopped 36, and I was just saying, like, I did it almost jokingly, right? If he's not elite or like heads and tails our best player, like, we're not winning the game. So exactly. So anything that's less than elite basically forces him to be a guy at this point, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's ridiculous, it's stupid, and it's kind of silly, but that's where we're at.
Yeah, I feel bad. I feel bad the fact that we even have to have this segment, but there is a flip side to this. So being that there's only two of us, we get over the bad stuff really quickly. And we get to the dudes. Who is your dude? I think I know who you're going to take, and I'm okay with that because I have a backup, but I'm going to give it to you because I'm a nice guy.
Well, I know that you're a big Cole Lynn fan, so I'm going to Rathbone up.
Oh, interesting.
He had a quiet game. He was in there, but he looked composed. It was like the first time that we saw Hughes touch the puck behind the net, come in, break pucks out, looks good doing it, doesn't look overwhelmed, doesn't look like the speed is too much for him, like the game is too big for him. How about some Rathbone on the PP? Pete's right. I see it like no time at all. I mean, there was a very short amount of time where Hughes wasn't on the first unit power play, where we had Brady was bugging me about Edler having good nights on the power play. Like, hey, you got to watch it, buddy. Maybe Edler's not right to come off the power play yet. But I mean, Kareem is going to rise to the top. And even if that wasn't the case for Hughes back then, a guy like Rathbone is going to find his way to the top unit power play. But sure. I was really impressed with him coming out behind the net, breaking pucks out, nice clean passes. Now, you have to have a guy like VC actually control the pass on the other side of the play so that you can continue the breakout. But there was a couple of occasions where he would break the puck out, the forward would lose the puck. He would somehow get it back, break it out again, and then the puck was lost again, and he was defending odd man rushes.
Yeah,
Tyler Myers flops all over the place. I mean, he was literally there, and I didn't feel in jeopardy when he was on the ice. And I don't know if you guys caught this towards the end of the game, he had a pretty filthy toe drag where he went inside on a guy and had a very good chance to score. So if that's the kind of hands that we're looking at in the future for a guy like Rathbone,
how about your first? And
your
first game, you have a stop a 2-on-1, McDavid, Draisaitl.
Very Chris Tanev-esque, eh?
Like I'm watching, like this is gonna go so bad. This is gonna go so. Oh my god, this is amazing.
And I'm not going to compare Rathbone to Tanev, obviously, but it was the same thing. Do you remember Tanev in his first game? He was defending it. It was like a 2-on-1, right? I mean, he did that sort of lay back play where he sort of kicked the puck with his skate, but like,
And then he takes his cigarette.
Yeah, cool hand Luke, right?
Taps it off. So,
yeah.
So nice pick.
Thanks, buddy.
Going back to the beginning of the show, I'm going to pick the guy that has been crapped on apparently for no reason whatsoever. Normally I'd go with Brock here. Cole Lind seemed like a good choice, but JT Miller is my dude of the week. He's just so much fun to watch, whether he's angry, whether he's happy, scoring goals, missing, whatever. This has been a very, very exciting week to watch JT Miller play hockey. And there's nothing really specific. The guy is just bleeding for this team right now. And I love it. And that's it. Like, that's the sell. If you're a Canucks fan, you should be happy JT Miller's on your team. Period. That's it. Like how do you hate
a lot of bitching going on out there?
It's ridiculous. Like I don't get. I saw that people were kind of complaining. I thought, why? Like, what are we missing here? Because he had a giveaway. Have you seen the rest of the Canucks? Like you're gonna. That's who you want to call out. Okay, way to go. Thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Give me a break. Get out of here.
I like the pick. I mean, he's a surly character, right? I mean, he's a cool guy. Like we want to watch him play, and we love it when he does cool things. But it was like, it's almost like that Kessler vibe, right? When Kessler was a Canuck and he was in his heyday, he just looked like an ass the whole time, right? I mean, but he was our asshole.
He was our. Exactly.
You know, like
I
was okay with him walking around with that surly look on his face, and it rubs people the wrong way. But like, I don't think he gives a shit, and I don't give a shit either because he's doing things that we need him to do. So I mean, but I'm just fine with JT Miller in the act. I love that pick, Ryan. So good on you.
I don't know. Like I've wanted to be him all week, and there's been a few moments this week where I really wanted to be him. Just go rage quit on somebody, but you know, whatever. So thank you, JT Miller, for being a Vancouver Canuck. Hopefully we see many more years.
You ever imagine like what Miller does if like somebody's like rude to him in the lineup? Like what would JT Miller do? Like who knows? You just feel like he's going to just take it out on somebody at some point. Right?
Yeah.
You just don't want to be on like the stinger end of what JT Miller's about to deliver in any scenario.
We didn't see Quinn Hughes on the bench to start the second period. We didn't see anything happen on the ice. Like, oh, we just see a glimpse down the tunnel. JT Miller was feeding him shots in the tunnel before they entered the ice. What did he say? I would love to know. That seems like it needs to be a story for some reason. So anyway, dudes and guys, thanks for coming out. We've got a couple more things to get into before we close her down. I guess we should. I know everyone else has kind of addressed it in one way or another. Jake Virtanen, the news of Jake Virtanen being, the allegations of sexual abuse. It's a tough topic to talk about because it's not. This is, we're not joking around. Like, if this is true, this is bad. Like, this is. I don't get how there's any human being that could do this, and I'm not speaking specifically right about Jake Virtanen, to be that much of a monster if that's what you do is just, it's awful. I don't get that. Nothing's been proven yet, and we will see what happens. And the victim has given her statement. I think I saw that VPD has looked into this already now. I think I saw that earlier today. So super serious. Take hockey away. It doesn't matter. Like I don't get it. Like that people can do that. And again, either way, I mean, obviously you never want to hear anybody doing this, but I mean, it hits. This is close to home. This hits home for the team that we follow, and this is a guy that, like this, he's in a serious situation.
Yeah, it's really shocking, obviously, what women have to put up with, right? I mean, what women put up with in their DMs, from random guys like that people just think it's okay to act in that manner. And again, Jake is, you're in the word of whatever, you're sort of innocent until proven guilty or whatever. More has to come out and we'll figure that out. Right. But we know that there's an independent investigation going on. We know that it's with VCPD, and ultimately, you don't want it to be true, but if it is true, then it's pretty unforgivable, right? I mean, you feel for this woman, you feel for any woman that's put in this situation. First off, to have the bravery to come forward and say something, and in older days gone by, maybe be shunned for doing something like that. Maybe telling the truth wasn't the right situation for a person. And it probably was very, very difficult for many women to come forward for stuff like this. So you want to see all of the right things happen, based on what happened to this person. Right. So we're not wishing ill will on anybody, but I mean, if he was in the wrong, I mean, then that's got to come out. Right. So there's been some shitty things that have happened with this team over the last few years, and everybody wants, the right people to be taken care of in this manner. And I hope that she's doing well. And that if this is all true, that, obviously that she's being taken care of and treated the way that she should be treated.
Did you see how the Canucks, the only statement that actually came out to begin with was Travis Green? Like, that they asked him in the morning presser? Like, should it not be addressed way above that? Not your coach.
I don't know. Like, I don't know what the rule is, right? I mean,
but it shouldn't be the coach.
Well, maybe. I mean, the coach has the most direct contact with him, right? Like, maybe it is the coach. I don't know. I think the person that Jake is probably closest to, or has the most respect for, or listens the most to, is probably a guy like Travis Green, right? Like, if Travis is essentially his mentor.
No. I'm saying
then maybe that's why the comment came out. I don't know why the comment wasn't brought out higher up. Like, maybe it has something to do with the investigation. Maybe it's like, please hold your comments. I don't know.
No, when they asked him, I'm just saying in the presser, when the question was asked at Travis and he had to be the one that answered. He was the first guy basically to field a question. It wasn't Jim Benning. It wasn't Aquilini. Like, should you not have had someone come out?
I think he's just going to toe the line, though. I think that's Travis Green, right?
But why him? That's all I'm saying. Like,
why wouldn't somebody ask him the question? I mean, what's he going to do? Not answer it?
But shouldn't he have had someone else there because the obvious question was going to come? Should you not have had a GM or an owner, or somebody, a president, which they don't have?
And I suppose maybe that's what we don't know about, right? Why weren't they there? The Canucks do funny things sometimes, and maybe this is a funny thing. So, I mean. I'm ultimately, I feel for the woman that was put in this spot, really, and the rest of it's sort of just lip service to me until it's all figured out properly and it gets handled correctly past that point, and stopgaps are put in place so that we don't run into issues like this in the future. And there's obviously a level of teaching that has to happen still with people, which is so shitty.
No, well said. I think let's kind of turn a bit of a corner here. There's not much more to get into. The Tom Wilson thing, I think we should probably talk about as well, and how the NHL is an absolute joke. Tom Wilson absolutely dummies Artemi Panarin amongst, I think there's another guy in the scrum 2 days ago, or yesterday, 2 days ago, and gets the maximum allowable fine, $5,000 for his participation in said acts. Alex Edler is stuck on the ice for 3 minutes. Was it the first game? The first game after they're back from COVID. Knee on knee, Zach Hyman gets suspended for 2 games. Clearly non-intentional. Not a great play. Dude's gas played 3 minutes. You see me play 3 minutes in any sport, running hard, knowing me, and I do something like that, and I accidentally injure somebody, clearly I don't mean to. I have nothing left to give. And, you feel bad for the guy. It's a serious injury. Tom Wilson goes out and absolutely goes like rage mode. And Panarin's out for the rest of the season. I don't think the Rangers are making the playoffs, though, right?
What happened to Panarin? Do you know what the injury was?
His face, shoulder. upper body. Basically gets dummied and just ridiculous. NHL throws down the $5,000 fine, which is basically what Wilson makes when he's sitting in the penalty box. Rangers come out publicly, basically throw the NHL under the bus, saying that they are not happy with this, and rightfully so. And
now there's people that aren't working there anymore, have lost their jobs. Like,
yeah, Davidson and
that's not a coincidence. Like, give me a break.
No. Well, they said, well, it was coming. Why would you do it now? Why now?
Come on.
Like, what an absolute joke. Like, this league, George Peros is still running department, right? Player safety?
Yeah, and George Peros is a smart guy.
And that's what I'm getting at. He's a super smart dude, and he looks like an idiot right now.
He looks like a fool. Like, the whole thing is stupid. Why does Tom Wilson get any benefit of the doubt in any scenario? Like, that's like saying to me, like, oh, Brian Marchment went knee on knee with a guy, but like it didn't look like he did it on purpose. Well, like, what the fuck, man? Check my resume.
Yeah.
Like that's all you need to see. Yeah, like I know about this dance. I've done this before. Like literally, I'm suspended frequently for being an asshole. And then for him to just take liberties with a guy like Panarin, who's now done for the season, like you said.
It's garbage.
And this guy he's basically a skating goon who has some hands and ability. But he's still like out there taking liberties with people. He's mental doing stuff like that. And it just doesn't seem to matter. Like he's done worse stuff, I bet, that got suspended. He's probably done stuff that wasn't as bad at that and got suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's a $5,000 fine. Coincides with the firing of New York Rangers upper management. It coincides with the New York Rangers throwing the NHL under the bus. There's a bunch of weird coincidences here, and I don't know for sure about this. Now, I don't know because I'm not at home watching this game, but my guarantee is that there's some level of retribution going on here. And I know for a fact that the NHL would have gone to these teams saying that if anything happens, we're going to throw the book at you. And it's going to be a bunch of Rangers that are going to go out there and start some shit and take care of business on their own, only because they feel like they have to, because the NHL didn't take care of it for them. So I don't know what Stripes is going to say to anybody at this point, because it's putting the referees in a really shitty spot too. Sorry, now I'm on like a little bit of a rant.
Did you see the game tonight? Did you see?
No, I haven't seen it. I'm gonna go home and watch it. But or you could just update it after. But past that, like I'm watching this replay of him going after Panarin right now, and it's just crazy to me, because this is like the NHL's mandate. Their MO is like no retaliation at all. And we're talking about if the dude slashes me and he skates away and he doesn't get a penalty and I slash him back, I'm going to get 2 minutes for it. What am I getting 2 minutes for? If he didn't slash me and it wasn't a penalty, then why am I getting 2 minutes for slashing?
Yeah,
like it's unbelievable. So the NHL, I guarantee you that. Well, I mean, you know the game, you're watching it, whatever. So I might be wrong, but retribution on this guy. Anybody that went Retribution Act versus Tom Wilson is going to get the absolute fucking book thrown at them, and it's stupid because the guy walked away with a $5,000 fine and deserves so much more than that.
It's just Bush League. Remember how we used to get into these conversations back in the day? Like how poorly run this league is, and nothing's changed.
It's so
nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. So tonight, Steve brought it up because you wouldn't let me bring it up. Yeah, 6 fights in the first 4 minutes of the game. There was a line brawl to start the game. Same 2 teams.
A Donnybrook or a brouhaha?
A brouhaha, both. What do you think is going to happen? Like, what do you think is going to happen? Your referees did their job. The referees did their job, and this is one of those times where it's the reverse. The refs did their job. The NHL dropped the ball. So now you go into the next game, and the refs are like, well, we know what's going to happen. Like, you know this is going to get messy. And it did. It did. You didn't have...
Weird.
You didn't have... Remember, after... I think it was after the Naslin hit. Steve, and I'm going to not go into...
It's not that much different.
No. So you see Steve Moore goes after Naslin, and then there was a lot of stuff that happened that game. What happened the next game? Who was in attendance? Gary Bettman was in attendance that night. It was 5-5. I think when they still had ties, I think. Tie, or it was a 5-5 tie against Colorado. It's actually a wicked game from what I remember. So Gary goes home. It gets dealt with. What happens the next game? The incident. You guys have to run your league better. You're trying to sell this as like a marketable product, and it looks like a joke. It looks like a joke for multiple reasons, but in this exact current instance, this is the latest thing.
It could have been so much easier than this if the league got wind of the fact that this thing was going to come out as a $5,000 fine, and they went like,
no way.
No.
Sorry.
We're having an in-person meeting. He's getting 3 games.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. Peros.
No, give him end of the season. Call it
whatever.
Yeah.
Any suspension would have amounted better than a $5,000 fine. The flip side of this is that if somehow the league stepped in and said, not a suspension, sticking their noses in when they're not supposed to be, or something like that, and forcing Mr. Peros to make a dumb call, and he's the guy that's ultimately going to be the scapegoat of this thing. So I don't know. George Peros, maybe he hasn't done a good job with Department of Player Safety, but we know he's a smart guy. He's a fucking rocket scientist, for Christ's sakes.
I know. It just doesn't compute.
It's weird. The whole thing is weird.
So you know what? When the playoffs happen, I hope you guys just screw it right up. Just, you know what? Screw it right up. Blow the whole thing up. Good riddance, honestly. Do you think the league throws the book at Wilson if it's McDavid? Yeah. They protect their stars. So, yeah, I do, honestly.
That's the thing. Artemi Panarin is a freaking star.
He is one of the league's stars, but he's not the star.
Oh, it's
and because it's New York, they figure, oh, well, there's guys that'll stick up for him. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, if it was Steve, you're right. Well, if it's McDavid, if it's Crosby,
JT Miller's in Vancouver now, so who's going to stick up for him?
Well played. Yeah, this just absolutely. You'd think there'd be something else, but once again, here we are. This is just the latest thing to happen, where we just shake our head at the NHL and think, "What are you even doing?" On that note, we should probably wrap it up. This has been a fun hour. The live stream has been a lot of fun. Everybody's been very, very social on here. This is our first official, real go at it. We did do a live stream last week. We eventually will have a proper one on the Blundell Network, but I'm going to do a month of just this version, and then we're going to get all the bells and whistles. It's going to be a lot of fun. But did you have fun tonight? Was this good? Was this good for you?
This was just fine. Yeah. How does this work? So do you still get a recording of this that you post as an episode?
I don't know. I'm not that. It says it records, so who knows? I'll figure it out. I don't know. You know what? We got a podcast. It's on YouTube. You can replay it on Facebook.
Are you really excited? Are you super excited for your run then this weekend? What are you predicting? What are you predicting for a Ryan Hank 40? So,
we can get into that quickly for sure.
Okay.
So, Rich Eisen,
Rod Woodson ran a 6:02 alongside Rich Eisen.
They both ran that.
Woodson ran a 6.
But he ran it in a suit. I'm younger.
Yeah, but Rod Woodson ran in a tracksuit.
Yeah, but Rich Eisen ran it in a suit. I think I could beat him. I could be low 6s.
Low 6s doesn't. He's almost high 5s.
The run should have been the live stream. We'll find a way.
We're probably going to have to do that.
You know what? If the app works on my phone, I guarantee you that's going to happen. Hank's going to lose or pull a hammy. If I pull a hammy, I'm not only going to hear it from you guys and my friends. Coming into work explaining this is not going to go over well.
You're gonna have the limp going on.
I did it the first time and I came in and no one felt sorry for me. So I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna shoot my shot. Yeah,
I want a prediction, a time.
I'm not gonna do low 6. So let's call 6-3.
You're gonna run more than a 6. You think? You don't think you're in the 5s?
Well, if I do better, then I can gloat.
This is an under promise, over deliver, Ryan.
Yeah, exactly. It's smart. I'm smart. A 6-3. What would be a normal 40? I've been watching the videos. I've been watching this guy that trains guys.
A normal 40, probably a 5.75.
Okay, so I've been watching this guy who trains.
For a normal human, I'm thinking, not an athlete.
Okay. Oh, then I can do that.
Okay.
I'm pretty fast. And we got the 3-cone drill, which has 4 cones, which is weird. That's where I think there's going to be a problem.
For anybody that saw Tom Brady run his 40, I believe he ran a 5.28.
And he's not fast.
No, he's like a baby giraffe.
Yeah, he's not fast. So he better be sub 6. you've seen me run, Steve. You know I'm capable of it. So we're gonna do that, and then I think we're doing broad jump. I think we decided was the third one.
Broad jump. Okay.
Yeah. So that'll be the 3. There is definitely a possibility where things are gonna get icky on one of those 3 things.
I think you're gonna get Chris in the broad. I think he's gonna crush you in the cone. And
Probably.
I don't know what happens on the 40. Sky's the limit.
We're gonna have to space it out. Like it can't happen because I think then someone's gonna get hurt. We'll have to space it out.
No, well, there'll be a bunch of people there. We'll let everybody run their 40s and stuff. And
bring your kids out.
Yeah.
COVID safe. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Rob Fay said he's gonna run play-by-play, so we'll have it on video and we'll repost it for everybody, which is awesome. Thank you so much, Rob Fay. That's gonna be great. I hope you just throw us under. I hope he throws us and just dummies us on the whole play-by-play. Like I just hope it's just an absolute.
You guys are gonna get bodied hard. Yeah, it's gonna be
big time, and I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun. Hopefully, at some point this weekend, we're gonna make it happen. I work on Saturday, so it has to be after work. And then there's Mother's Day. It's a busy weekend, folks.
Well, it's the sun is out later these days, so
that's true. I mean, we saw it. Brent was on his little run there or his little walk, and yeah, it's great living in British Columbia, isn't it? It's just perfect. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Any final words, my friend?
Nothing, man. I'm just excited to see this thing go down on Sunday. I might have to stretch myself a little bit. We'll see.
I think you could crush me. You're pretty fast too. I think I have maybe a step on you, but you're pretty fast.
Okay.
You have the weight side of things. You can absolutely dummy me pretty much any other part of the gym.
Oh, the weights.
The weights, not weight.
Okay. I'm like being heavier doesn't make you faster.
It's just like a locomotive train. Yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited. So my kids will be there and they'll be crying if I get hurt because that's what they do. They're good kids.
Yeah, you'll be fine. We'll get you stretched out.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be a lot of fun. If we can, we'll absolutely live stream it because why not? Got nothing else to do. So Ted, you're good. I'm Ryan. This is the PP1 podcast. Thank you so much for coming to the live stream. We're big time in it now. Episode 89, the McGillney episode.
89 episodes already.
I know. I mean, I think there's a few in there, like the post games from the playoffs don't count. So we're probably well over 100 by now, but whatever. Maybe on 100, we'll try to get a big guest. Somebody. I was talking to Dallas Smith today, formerly of Default.
Oh.
There's a song called I Can't Win that they used to sing. I said, you should sing that as the new theme song for the Canucks. Hey, check it out on YouTube. It's a good song, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you listen to it. So, make sure you follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Enter the draw for the summer skates. This is an awesome, awesome opportunity. You won't regret it. If you win it, you're going to be happy. I guarantee it. And other than that, let's watch the Canucks get absolutely dummied for the rest of the week. Gotta love it. Connor McDavid, you got 2 more points to make me a truther. On behalf of Ted, I'm Ryan. This is the PP1 podcast. Peace out.
Peace.
See you, folks.